Okay, so here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take the 6 note horizontal shapes and I'm going to pick them 4 times, then go to Hammer-ons and Pulloffs 4 times. And then I'll switch shapes and you'll start to see. So first I'll do it slower and then I'll slowly, gradually put in more speed. So here's picking, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 3 times. 4, and I'll switch, down, hammer, hammer, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, pick, pick. This is the picking, hammer, picking, hammers, right, so in doing so, what you're doing is you're developing a coordination between both your left hand and your right hand in doing these kinds of things, okay? Now, as you see, as I was sort of speeding up and slowing down and speeding up and slowing down, there is a certain sort of flow, and obviously picking notes, feels different than just fingering notes at Hammer-ons and Pulloffs. Everything is the same, by the way, when you descend, except, of course, the pull-offs as opposed to hammer-ons. So down, up, 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 down, pull, pull, up, pull, pull, down, pull, pull, up, pull, pull. I'm just going to focus on the hammer-ons and pull-offs for a second. This pull, 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 pull. Now if you notice, I'm using inside motions right now. As opposed to when we ascend, that's outside. If I was going to do an extended amount of those, I probably would reverse it. I prefer to outside pick. And we'll talk about those things in another technique video. But for the purposes here, I keep them symmetric. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 3 times picking, picking, pick, 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 down, up, down. And so forth. Now, how do we practice this, and why would you even practice this? Okay, and this is going to sound something that sounds very strange, but I'm going to bet my guitar playing life on this, okay? Your hammer-ons and pull-offs help your picking. I'm going to say that again. It sounds like that's not possible. But your hammer-ons and pull-offs and the strength and the coordination and the time of doing all those drastically help your picking. It's huge. It's very, very important. Now, why is that the case? You might go, that doesn't make sense at all. Well, my picking is my picking and my hammer-ons and pull-offs are a completely different thing. Well, for most people, if you're like most people, you'll go, I can play one note, but I just can't, play like solos and all that cool stuff, but I, or you feel like you can alternate pick, maybe with chords or chord progression, but it just doesn't seem how to fit into playing, in solo. So here's my point, and why is that the case? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Believe it or not, that may be faster than somebody can go, but here's my point. This is basically my top speed. If you sat down for even a short period of time, even if you know this, or a little bit less, you'll find that speed is pretty uniform in human beings. strings, okay? After a short time of playing guitar, it's pretty uniform, okay? And how to get them together. The unique thing here is that's on one string. That's not 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's not some sort of leaping across strings issue. It's you're playing. Right? That is a one string thing. Now, what's strange about that is when you start adding, scale positions and licks and riffs in, you have to change strings. So, playing your hammer-ons and pull-offs, if you play downstroke, hammer, hammer, upstroke, hammer, hammer, down, hammer. The right hand picking now plays only the notes when you're changing the strings. But the interesting thing is, for most people, this is almost always very even. It's actually hard to do it uneven. It's easier just to do it even. But the problem is, when you go, the reason hammer-ons and pull-offs actually help your picking is if your pick arrives, say, before the note, when you're picking, your hammer kind of covers for it and it kind of gets there anyway. If your pick arrives after, what happens is you get the note, then the pick, right? So when you start getting some speed, it starts to sound the same anyway. But what you don't do is it masks the possible inconsistencies which happen in your left hand. And that is the note arriving precisely on time and in time. So we can do this with a metronome in a minute. See, there's no change. Now, for those of you trying this at home, right, you're going, oh, I see what he means. Yeah, I got that. Maybe my left hand. Or what you might find is that one of these shapes is very difficult, or that one or two or three or four of them might be harder than one or two or three of them. But somewhere along the line, it's going to highlight the physical inconsistencies that currently exist in your left hand. So once you can work through those, what happens? Your pick's probably going to arrive on time. And then you know what? When your pick, which by the way is already arriving on time, he's got a train schedule, he's going to meet it. The train conductor on this hand follows a time slot. He's in. This guy, nah, he's kind of not going to be. So my point is, once you put them and you unify them, you're usually much more connected and more on time. As a result, you see how my picking and hammer-ons, switching to and fro, it's seamless. Alright, so that's the point here. So your picking hand will be drastically increased with the accuracy of your left hand. Basically, there's only two ways to cross strings. Down, up, down. Now you're going to have to switch to an up, right? Or you can do that descending. So you can switch with an up or a down in either direction. This exercise, called the 6 note horizontal shapes, and doing it with hammer-ons and pull-offs, basically encapsulates all of those motions. So, there you go. 6 note horizontal shapes, and we're going to do it with hammer-ons and with pull-offs.